Oh, another textbook passage. It's been ages. Fate is a convenient concept for explaining the unexplainable. Why does an individual always find themselves in difficult circumstances? Cause they are what's the worst that could happen and then just do decisions? What makes someone lucky or unlucky? And the answer is simple. Fate. Even now, in this age of lost omens, people still resort to such explanations. The commander attracts adventure wherever he goes, a tendency that should be studied, not hastily dismissed with a pseudo explanation of fate. Oh yeah, in the end the whole story is told by Aurelio, so that's her. All the textbook passages are from Aurelio, right? I think I never really realized that. But yeah, cool. So that means that she's also doing all the sketches. The portal opens in an unfamiliar dungeon, dank and bleak. Stark contrast to the pleasant square in Kenabres. The commander thought he saw rovers dash through the portal after him before it closed. However, the new head of the Eagle Watch is nowhere to be seen. Welcome to Razmir, comes a condescending voice. Please, don't move. We must finish the spell. The approving whispers of the speaker's cultist minions echo behind him. The commander is sitting on a chair in the center of a dark chamber. He decides to quickly look around. Razmir's face is concealed by an impassive white mask, as are all the faces of his minions crowding behind him. I have many questions for you, self-styled commander, and you will have plenty of time to answer them. A chuckle seems to come from beneath the mask. But first, let me block your so-called mythic powers. We wouldn't want to make a scene now, would we? You can't just do that? Razmir gives the signal, and his minions begin moving their hands in magical gestures. The time for action has come, and the commander decides to... I'm quite sure this is going to fail, but the commander decides to unleash the full force of his mythic powers upon Razmir. The commander feels the familiar tension building up inside him, but the tension does not find its expected release. Only a small portion of power hits Razmir in his chest, but it is enough to hurl him against the wall. Increase the pressure, orders Razmir as he staggers out through the doorway. His cultists close ranks, their concerted magic somehow holding the commander's powers at bay inside his body. The commander must escape before the unknown magic binds him permanently. He has no choice but to... I just want to point out, we can't do this. We're neither really mobile nor good at athletics. Plus 11, plus 17. He has no choice but to deftly slip past the cultist's door. Yep, failed. We even rolled a nat 20, and we still failed? There's no nat 20 in this game? Breaking through the line of cultists is not as easy as it might be. Clawing hands grab the commander, subduing him and hurling him to the floor. Strange magic wraps around the commander like a cocoon. His mythic powers, just rising to the surface, suddenly seem to wane, lulled into a lazy afternoon nap. The commander himself also sinks into a magical slumber. When he wakes, the commander discovers that his captors have disappeared. Walking across the chamber, the commander stops by the door. It is locked, but it is unlikely to stand up against the commander's might, even when hampered by magic. He decides to break down the door and get out. Since we couldn't do a check, I'm not very optimistic. A single blow is enough to break down the door. Yes! It seems Razmir expected to hold ordinary prisoners here, but so far he has not had to deal with a real opponent. A long tunnel leads straight ahead. Cell doors flash past on the left and right, but there's not a soul to be seen. Finally, the tunnel ends, with the commander standing at the foot of a staircase leading up. At the same time, he hears muffled sounds coming from an inconspicuous door under the stairs. Do you think those are our companions? Let's hope it. The commander chooses the inconspicuous door. The room turns out to be surprisingly spacious. It looks like a laboratory more than anything. Set out on tables around the room are scrolls, magical ingredients, and vials containing substances of various hues. A gnome and an elf in Razmiri cultist robes stand near one of the tables, locked in an animated debate. They are so engrossed that they do not notice the commander's entrance. The commander decides to listen on to the conversation. Have you lost your mind? Adding real gold dust? We need the audience to believe the light's magic, not gild their hats and jackets, shouts the gnome, rolling his eyes angrily. I added yellow light pollen last time. Everything went fine at first, the elf explains. I read the spell from the scroll and scattered the pollen. It glittered in the dim light. The congregation believed that I was really doing divine magic. Get to the point, yells the gnome, losing patience. Allergies. One of the audience members was allergic to pollen, as it turned out. Wow. Oh, charlatans. The commander decides to attack the cultists and search the lab. The cultists prove more agile than expected. The elf reads from a scroll and vanishes into a portal. The gnome immediately leaps after her. Now, there's no one to disturb the commander's exploration of the laboratory. But they know that we are escaping. Quickly inspecting the tables, the commander discovers a large number of elixirs, ready to use scrolls and spell components. After taking all the items of value, the commander considers the next step and chooses to... Perception, one of the skills we can actually do. DC 56, modifier 56. I like it. The commander takes another good look around. Carefully searching bears fruit. A secret door is revealed behind one of the cabinets, leading to a steep spiral staircase going upward. The clamor of voices and stomping feed echoes along the corridor before quickly dying away. It seems the commander's escape has been noticed. The commander decides to use the secret passage. Of course, we're not going to discover it and then just turn around. The spiral staircase leads the commander to a certain curtain-covered alcove. He cautiously peeks out and realizes he's in a chapel dedicated to Razmir. This guy's really full of himself, isn't he? There's a service in progress. Masked cultists kneel in front of a portico where a priest hidden under a mask of Razmir mask. There's one mask too much in this sentence. Is preaching. From the outside, it would appear that Razmir himself is conducting a service before other Razmirs. Another huge mask hangs directly behind the priest. The commander makes a decision to listen to the service. Might be interesting. I am Razmir, and my word is the word of God, the priest says in an aged voice that's strikingly different from that of the Razmir who met the commander in the dungeons. Oh. Is it maybe that there's not one Razmir, but they're all like impersonating him? It's more like a collective? I am the great Razmir, the cultists echo. I passed the test of the Starstone and gained divinity. My will is unyielding, the priest continues. The commander considers his next step and decides to keep listening. No mortal can look upon my visage and not die of exaltation. I have graciously hidden my face beneath a mask so that I do not forsake my flock. That's with the mask. I think there's not one Razmir, says the priest. I am all merciful, affirms the flock. Having heard this, the commander prepares to keep listening. Come on. What could go wrong? The mask is the extension of my will, the priest proclaims. Through mask do I gaze upon the world. Through them I am present everywhere, invisible and unstoppable. Through them my will and my power flow. I am omnipresent, intoned the cultist, throwing up their hands. Succeeded at a knowledge check, Arcana. The commander notices that, as if in response to the cultist's words, the mask behind the priest flickers slightly, and contains the same energy that Razmir used to block the commander's powers in the dungeon. It seems the mask itself is an enchanted object capable of restricting magical abilities, and if the enchantment on the mask is broken, the powers of those is restricting can be restored. Okay, then I think we have to attack the cultists. The commander decides to attack the cultists. The cultists are far from eager to fight. When they notice the commander, they scatter. Cowards! Some hide in curtain-covered alcoves, some dive behind the altar, and one even jumps out of the window. The clicks of secret doors opening can be heard all over the chapel. The high priest picks up the huge mask of Razmir, and with wild eyes steps into a portal that has just appeared. Why can't they just do that? Why am I so freaking slow? I can't attack anyone? Everyone just teleporting away. I want a counterspell. There's no time to look for the scattered cultists. A large golden chalice on the altar catches the commander's eye. I want the mask. The chalice is surprisingly light when picked up. Too light. A closer look reveals its flaws, such as the chipped gilding that exposes fake treasure's copper core. After a quick look around the chapel, the commander decides to... What is up with this fake golden chalice? Yeah, we can't go after them. The commander decides to search the altar for the real gold chalice. And what are we doing with that then? The commander's instincts are soon proven right. He spots a genuine relic in an inconspicuous niche near the base of the altar, a sacred gold chalice. Satisfied with the find, the commander now intends to leave the chapel, go into the corridor, and open the doors to the throne room. The heavy doors open on creaking, unoiled hinges. It is clear they are rarely closed, but today is a special occasion. An expansive hall is revealed beyond the doors. It is hard to imagine more magnificent surroundings. The crimson carpets are embroidered with golden threads, the walls are adorned with gold inlaid masks, and the gold chandelier on the ceiling must be held up by magic, otherwise it surely would have fallen long ago under its mighty weight. Razmir himself is waiting for the commander with a lazy look in his eyes and a group of cultists behind him. Damn, we didn't get back our powers. Ah, my dear guest, he says in greeting. And when I say dear, I do mean it. It cost me dearly to capture you, and that's not to mention the damage you're doing to my palace. He nods slightly as cultists begin waving their hands in spellcasting gestures once more. A wave of energy tenderly washes over the commander, enveloping him like a warm blanket. Boo-hoo. I'm sorry that your palace is going to be destroyed at the end of this. The commander tells Razmir what he's going to do to him. Intimidation. We just intimidated a god, or a fake god, or whatever. Razmir remains unflinching, but his minions prove to be weak in spirit. Many give up, and the spell dissipates. Anyway. Wasting no time, the commander attacks his opponents. There are some battles that cannot be avoided, in which retreat, while technically possible, is unthinkable. Some might call such battles momentous, others might call them righteous. Today, the commander has met an opponent who must be defeated, one way or another. Where are we good? Okay, either reflex or will. The commander resists the enemy's spells, while also striving to temper the enemy's will. Yes! One after another, the cultists fall, struck down by the commander. Razmir takes a step back, finally realizing that defeating this opponent is beyond his capabilities. Suddenly, the commander's companions burst into the hall. That they were captured in Kenabres and brought to Razmir's palace, they have managed to escape captivity. Now they have come to the rescue. Rovers, who entered the portal of the commander, but found himself in another chamber, fights alongside him. Took you long enough. The enemy's losses are heavy, but the commander is beginning to tire as well. Razmir is the first to break. Keep fighting, he shouts. Buy me time, you worthless creatures. Yeah, that really motivates your underlings, right? He hides behind the doors, and without him, the defenses cannot stand for long. Soon all the cultists have been defeated or have turned and fled. The commander feels a light touch on his shoulder. Glancing around, he sees Rovers. Rovers lead the commander into his side room and locks the door tight. Now would be a good time to rest and recuperate. Okay, so this whole Razmir is like a group entity thing apparently is wrong. It would have been interesting. While I was just reading, we could play it. Right? And also such a long reading passage. And I mean, some things are like nicely described, but why not show us? Oh well. And hey, we have our companions again. Woohoo! And Woljif, and Sosiel, and Ulbrig. And begin resting. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. The code is simple, really, but it is faith in one's fellows that is most frequently tested. Things would be a lot simpler if I could just cut down demons without having doubts or thinking about anything at all. Oh. Interesting point to do your oath again, but hey. Hey, we finally see something. Oh yeah, we didn't put Aru in our party. Yeah, why did I put Seelah into our party? She's not a usual party member. I think I can't change our party. Oh well. So much self-indulgence. This place reminds me of a demon's palace. Yeah, I mean... evil gods, demons... doesn't have to be so much
Commander,
difference.
I'm glad to see you've made it this far.
Yeah, speaking about... From beneath the cultist masks comes a familiar voice. It belongs to Robus. Oh, it's not Razmir. Why do you look like that? I hope it's just a disguise. You fought alongside me, right?
Even though we're trapped in the enemy's palace, this secluded room looks like a good place to catch our breath. If you or your companions need rest, this is the best place for it.
How did you manage to disguise yourself as a cultist? I can't see your horns or your tail.
Secrets of the subtle art of disguise.
Well, well.
I've worn thousands of guises in my life, and I can't always be a tiefling.
Does that mean he's not really a tiefling? So, where are we?
We find ourselves in Razmir's palace. Whether we're in Razmirin or another of his palaces, I'm unsure.
Do you know what lies ahead?
Grand halls full of fanatics. I can't say how dangerous these cultists
Typical
are.
cult slaying, I guess.
There are plenty of them out there, so be careful.
Why did you follow me?
Some cultists try to abduct the Crusade commander, and then he disappears into a collapsing portal. I had to follow you.
Very dutiful, thank you. So, do you know how to get out of here?
To my shame, no. I've not managed to figure it out. But there's always a way out if you look hard enough.
Do you think the citizens of Kenabres are in danger? I wouldn't think so, because I think like the main event for the Razmirans is us being here.
Razmir's lackeys wanted to make your abduction look like part of the show. It's clear they don't want everyone knowing you're missing. Most likely the townspeople are still celebrating, oblivious to what has transpired.
And we still don't even know what he wants from us, right? We've already slaughtered so many cultists, at least off-screen, I guess.
Certainly.
But well. And here you go, Rue. Yeah. Also, saving takes like kind of longer than it used to, right? Right, let's see how big this palace is going to be. And how many battles we're going to have here. Interesting that also all those acolytes are not attacking us. Oh. I spy. What do I spy? Lots of treasure. And Razmir. Yeah, more Roman scenes. Yeah, I gotta say, probably the biggest reason for me to play this DLC was like, oh, there's going to be another Roman scene in the end. And I want the loot. And interesting, I guess like the number of the step is kind of like the order of the cultist group. So in Kenabres we have the third step, here with the first one. Should we attack them? I mean, Logan is always really trying not to kill people.
I can handle it.
So let's not. Come on, friends. Oh yeah, I forgot about our dinosaur. Well, I think it's Lance, right? Yay, loot! Which we're not going to use, cause... Sound the alarm! Blasphemers have invaded the temple! All the other cultists didn't seem to mind. Sound the alarm! The enemies of faith are here! Save yourselves! Okay. A little bit overreaction, maybe? And I'm not hearing an alarm, so I guess.
This is my kind of
the
work.
demons wait.
Yeah, anything interesting here? Artox, Conjurer of Blessings. Okay. I guess we can fight him and take loot. I don't know, this room reminds me a little bit about Rogue Trader. Wealth is never one-sided. Someone who's rich in virtue will never be poor in money or health. You will see firsthand that the beneficial effects of Razmir's wisdom. There you are, my child. I see you're unwell. I have a limp, Reverend. I've tried every spell, but nothing helps. Razmir's generosity knows no bounds. Verily, I say to you, if you believe, you will be healed. Oh, Razmir, I feel your grace descending upon me. See? Razmir blesses the faithful with his gifts and ignores the misery. Be generous in your donations, for your generosity will be returned to you 100-fold. And that, kids, is how you build a cult. Are they just going through the mirror? Okay.
You moron, who limps like that? If you keep slacking, I'll break your legs for real. Maybe
Wow.
then you'll finally look
Even that was not
convincing.
true.
We're done here. Go rehearse. We have 2 more miraculous healings today.
The Reverend looks away from his assistant and turns toward you.
Well, well, well. Who do we have here? A new acolyte, it seems. You certainly look promising.
Didn't you get, like, I don't know, the memo? I'm not an acolyte.
Are you dressed up for some special mission? It's a good costume, don't get me wrong, but you're supposed to worship in a robe and mask. All right, you're just beginning your journey. What do you want? Guidance, healing, or maybe a blessing? Oh, I know. You probably want to make a generous donation in the name of the great Razmir, a noble impulse of the soul, truly holy.
Is Razmir just a scammer? What a graceful god. And hey, we would have a Swarm Mythic Path option. What's the mirror next to you?
If you were meant to know that, you'd already know, wouldn't you?
What if Razmir wanted me to learn it from you?
You have a way with words. Fine, it's not a big secret anyway. These mirrors were created by the great Razmir to make it easier for his faithful servants to move between his numerous palaces. A portal is hidden in each of these mirrors, but which mirror leads where is a secret few people know.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Luvians from Dragon Age. Oh well. But at least you don't need a key or something. I got myself some innocent orange mango juice. Oh, it's so good. I know it. Yeah, it's pricey, but I love it. It's really good. It is pricey, but it's good. And watermelon. That's such a nice combination. Enjoy. What are you playing currently? Or mainly watching? I don't even want to ask what the sermon is about. I mean, we saw it. We know it. Who are you?
Who doesn't know me? I am Reverend.
Everyone's so
Knight,
arrogant here.
a humble servant of the great Razmir. Everyone wants to hear my sermons, and when they do, they are forever changed. How many times have I been told, oh, Reverend Nubbo, your sermon has turned my life around?
Yeah, people calling themselves humble are rarely humble.
You want to change your life, don't you?
Not
You want a
really.
beautiful mask and a high-ranking robe? Then miss no sermons and spare no gold for donations. And bring your friends. The more you bring, the faster you'll rise through the ranks.
Is it a snowball ski? Didn't you hear the sounds of fighting?
Fighting? Within the walls of this sacred monastery, the only battle being waged is a spiritual one, against one's unbelief, laziness, and negative thinking.
This guy
First, I
pisses me off.
preached a sermon. Then we sang a hymn on the steps to prosperity. No outside noise would dare enter this hall and disturb our pious concentration.
I want to attack him. I'm like, would Logan do that? I'm tired of you ranting. Die.
Help! Heathens! Heretics! Help! They're killing us!
Aren't they just going to escape through the mirror? Can't we, like, shatter the mirror?
Can we retreat already?
No, they're not just escaping. They're dumb. Do you have anything interesting on you? Except for probably, like, way too much money.
Got this one.
The intricate patterns that decorate the walls contain subtle references to the principles of Razmir and faith. I don't know if this faith actually has like principles. Just seems scammy as hell. Oh, blood. This is where you fought Razmir's minions when you made your way to the throne room. The bodies have already been moved, but they have not had time to wipe away the blood. If that was the case, why didn't we see this? So this was the chapel I think we listened in on. Why was it in the book? Why didn't we see that? Oh well. The Crusader King's 3. Elder King 2. Nice. Still enjoying it? Also I want to play BG3 again. Always a good idea. Me too. Hi. You don't want to fight me? Oh well. I guess. Who in Razmir's name are you? You can't come in here.
All right.
The palace stands as a testament to Razmir's wealth and power. It is a fitting temple for the god of luxury. More like god of exploiting.